So welcome. Today is April 15th. We're halfway through our social distancing. And today I get the delight and the honor to be here with Dr. Deborah Zeff, who has been a dear and close friend since 2006. And how we originally met was one of my friends referred me to her. I was dealing with some health issues, and one of my friends referred me to her, and we instantly became best friends. We call each other sis. So we're definitely sisters from a past life. It's just such a delight and an honor to be here and to offer all of you this great information. So my theme for the month, this month of April, is practice. And we have the ability to practice many different things in these difficult times. And that's a choice. And so today, when we look at the word practice, the definition of it is an actual application or use of an idea, belief, or method as opposed to theories relating to it. It's a repeated exercise in or performance of an activity or skill so as to acquire or maintain proficiency. So I've been a patient of Dr. Deborah Zeff's for 14 years, and 2006 was the first time that I actually went to her. And so today we're going to talk about how can we practice being proactive versus reactive around our health. So I'd like to introduce Dr. Deborah Zeff. She has so many certifications, so many qualifications. She has 1 PhD and 3 doctorates. Her doctorates are in natural medicine, traditional naturopathy, sorry, I tripped over that word, and homeopathy, and her third is in pastoral science. And so Dr. Deborah Zeff encourages and empowers men, women, and children to live their healthiest and best life naturally, using holistic, herbal, and energetic medicine. Many of her patients leave her clinic feeling healthier, more energetic, and on a path to restoring the body back to its right and natural balance. And I can definitely speak to that because I've consistently been coming to her for 14 years. Holistic Herbal Health is located in Parker, Colorado, assists with a wide variety of conditions including pain management, digestive problems, environmental sensitivities, hormones, detoxification, high cholesterol, and many, many more, way too many to list. She originally pursued a career in alternative, integrative, and complementary medicine because of her belief that the human body can heal itself when the proper environment is created and supported. She's also the founder and president of Holistic College of Quantum Wellness and an educator specializing in aromatic medicine. So just so you know, all of the information and ways to get in contact with her if you have your own medical questions or would like to reach out to her are going to be down below, written in the area below this YouTube. So please feel free to scroll down and connect with Dr. Deborah Zeff. So with that, tell us a little bit about your clinic.
Wow, I don't know where to start. The clinic itself, we see patients, people, clients who don't have any answers to what is happening in their body. It's like, I don't know, the doctors can't find anything or that type of stuff. So we do 3 different assessments. One is called an electroacupuncture Voll meridian assessment. So we use the meridian points on the head, hands, and feet.
And of course, the meridians are tied to acupressure and acupuncture, which many of you are most likely familiar with or at least heard about it. And this type of medicine has been around for over 3,000 years. So it's got a lot of history behind it.
A lot of history. And so that gives me one picture. The next assessment we do is the heart rate variability. And it's about taking your pulse, it's just like an ECG, takes your pulse, it puts clamps on your arms, and it measures the psycho-emotional state, the neurohormonal state, the autonomic nervous system, and the cardiovascular adaptation. So I can see how the heart and the mind is doing, because when we work on our bodies, we have to look at the mental, emotional, and spiritual to balance the physical.
Oh my gosh, the mind and body are so deeply connected.
deeply connected. And because our cells have the innate intelligence of healing themselves, but we have to create the right environment and the right conditioning. Many people come in, they get better, they go away, they fall into the same routine that they were in before, and then they become imbalanced again, just like what's happening with COVID-19. They are going out, I'm getting better, I know it's weird being locked down in your home, but it's about what are you practicing? You are parts of your environment and what you're conditioning your body with.
So a piece of this is behavioral change as well.
Absolutely. Behavioral change. And so once we settle on what we can balance the body out with, that's why I have a full homeopathic pharmacy as well as the supplements. And you see some of the supplements up here that we use, especially during this time. And so we balance the body, bring them back up to a higher vibrational frequency, and then our bodies can then start healing.
And there's so much more research now today about frequencies. I've recently been listening to music on YouTube, and based on the hertz of the music, it integrates and impacts certain areas of our body, mind. So all these frequencies, there's a lot of research out there. So I have this great quote. Life isn't about waiting for the storm to pass. It's about learning how to dance in the rain. And right now, a lot of us may be feeling at home, whether we're working from home virtually or whether we're not working right now and we're feeling trapped inside our home. How do I dance through this storm? And you have so many wonderful products, most of which I've used at many different points in my life, over the last 14 years. Share with us about some of these remedies that you have and how they connect to our current situation.
So I like to tell people that when they come in, first they have to create that high vibration within the cells themselves. How are we going to clean the cells out? Not only is it taking something, but what are you doing? First of all, meditation. We have an application that we call Brain Tap. And Brain Tap, you do at home. It's all about light and sound and music.
Oh, and there's a lot of research out there about light and sound therapy.
Much research that it goes deep down into the depths of your soul to create that balance, especially Beethoven, the classical music.
Yes, and that's been around for years. For years, where
just
they've connected that to learning better and so on, and playing certain beats per minute music that soothes babies.
The delta music, the beta music, the alpha music. So the brainwave music, which Dr. Porter does in Brain Tap. And right now, if you are not a great meditator, even if you are, using a creative visualization is going to help you immensely. And if you would like this, email me and I can give you free 15 days on this with the application to download for free. You don't have to buy the product. But use the music and the creative visualizations to be able to help you to relax. Because we know that relaxation is part of health, and that when we're stressed out, it causes all the body to go awry.
And then we're not dancing so well anymore.
No, and do that bare feet, please. I love dancing. We actually had a dance party just the other day in the house with our daughter and granddaughter, and moving the furniture and breathing. You have to breathe. Please breathe.
Yes.
Please breathe.
Well, and again, so much research connected to deep breathing, how it lowers cortisol in the brain, how it lowers our stress levels and our blood pressure. And boy, all you have to do is hit Google and research that, and there's a lot of data.
Oh, there's so much data. And if you're looking at it, the mental, emotional, and spiritual aspect, we keep our anger and our fear in our liver. And so those emotions stay in the liver, and it's the liver that metabolizes or conjugates the hormones. So we have to make sure that our liver is happy. So put your hand on the right side over your liver and say, I love you, liver.
I love you, liver. And boy, our livers are stressed today, aren't they?
They sure are. They sure are.
So tell us a little bit about some of these remedies. One of my favorite remedies is this one. It's called the Immunity Spray. I've been using this remedy for I don't know how many years, I think from day one since you created it. It has been with me 24/7 with COVID. I use it anytime. I spray it on my hands, anytime I go anywhere. I spray it on the steering wheel. I spray it in my mouth. I breathe it in to help my immune system stay strong. I don't know why I do all this. So tell me what's in this and how it impacts. I know that, and I've told you for years, I've traveled for the last 30 years, traveling to conferences and clients and so on. And this is my staple. It stays in my purse. I take it with me. It goes through security.
The whole kit and caboodle.
All right, and I never go anywhere without it. So tell me what's in it and how does it impact our systems?
The Immunity Spray has 18 different essential oils in there. I call that aromatic medicine. So that aromatic medicine works on the viruses, on the bacteria, on the fungus, on the mold, on the sore throats, on the irritation, in the inflammation that's within the body itself. So with that in mind, when you first started, I think I had maybe 3 or 4 essential oils, and now we have 18 in it because of our situation.
So, just so you know, and I know I've told you this story 100 times, whenever I've traveled and I'm on a plane, as I'm walking down the aisle of the plane, I'm like sprinting it. And I hear people saying, it smells like a spa in here. And then I sit down in my chair, and even before any of this with COVID, but I would spray the seat I was sitting in, the arms, I would drop down the tray, and I would spray everything. And, I've been very lucky. Knock on wood, I've stayed very healthy through all of this traveling and all the people that I've been exposed to over the last 30 years. And I do attribute it to a big piece of all of these remedies in this.
Well, you don't find many people protecting themselves on the planes. I know the airlines take such precautions of keeping their planes clean and doing all that, but this is an extra precaution for me because we carry viruses and bacteria on our hands, in our mouth, on our bodies, and they travel up to 6 feet from our body.
That's
and
why
the
social distancing. And right? Gary, my husband, just recently said, well, you're 6 feet if you just spread your arms out. That's 6 feet.
I've seen so many different memes about that.
Yep.
However, our aura, our vibrational frequency is 18 feet across, 9 this way and 9 this way, up and down and round.
And now they have PET scans where you can actually see it.
Yes.
It's so amazing how technology has allowed us to support all this medicine that's been around for thousands of years. And people knew it back then, just had an internal knowingness. Now there's validity behind all of this, which is incredible.
And our cells have always had that innate ability to know what was right and what's wrong inside our cells, inside our body. So when something comes in, the cells go, oh, wait a minute, there's a problem. I got to create a mucus, or I got to create a fever, or I have to throw it up, or I have to pass it through.
So the body wants to get rid of it naturally.
It wants to get rid of it naturally. And so what the Immunity Spray and what some of these, the vitamin D, Solray D does is it helps with the body so that it's not under so much stress to be able to eliminate that virus or bacteria.
So tell me how some of these connect to our current situation with COVID.
Well, these 3 remedies here, the Flu Milieu is all about balancing the body and helping the body if it does get a virus in it, the flu virus, that it can flag it and say, hey, wait a minute, I need a little bit of a fever. Can you create this fever to eliminate the virus? So that's what the Flu Milieu does. The Relax Milieu and Ultimate Rescue, these are all about bringing down with some Bach remedies as well as some hormonal support to help us relax and stay in that happy place.
So that's cortisol. So those 2 will keep the cortisol levels down.
Right.
So tell us a little bit about cortisol and how it impacts us, especially for those of us who are leaders and trying to stay healthy and centered for our staff members. Cortisol is being released at great intensity right now,
Yeah.
just because of our world and condition. So tell us a little bit about how these can maintain our cortisol levels.
Well, remember I said that the fear and anger stays in the liver?
Yes.
Fear stands for false experiences appearing real.
Yes, that's a great acronym. False experiences appearing real.
So we're creating that. We're creating that environment. So if we can help the liver and love our liver a little bit more, then that fear is not going to come out as much with the relaxation, with the homeopathics. We also have the vitamin C, the camu. That's what they use for vitamin C drips and whatnot. We have it in a powder now, which builds the immune system up.
And I've got all of these, and I've been taking all of them for the last, I guess, what was it? Almost 8 weeks now, right? Is
Yes.
that when I got that? So
Yeah.
I've been taking all of these.
Yes, the camu. This one here is called the glutamine. And the glutamine is all about keeping our small intestines healthy, because if it's not healthy, our allergies, our immune system kind of plummets a little bit. So this helps with the digestion part of it. And what I would add to that is your greens, because the greens fight the vibrational frequencies that are negative for our body. The greens enhance the ATP in the cell to create that immune system to be strong. The greens bind heavy metals to be released in the body so that we don't keep it and it causes imbalances.
So it's interesting, you know, you mentioned gut health. I mean, there's so much out there. I mean, the internet is just
all
full
about
about gut health and probiotics and all of that. So does the glutamine, is that similar to like a probiotic?
Not at all.
Not at all. Oh, good. So that's a good question that I asked.
That's a very good question. So glutamine is about immune system. A probiotic is that our gut is a full microdome of different bacteria. Okay? When we take a probiotic, whether it's 1 strand, 2 strand, 4 strand, 28 strand, I've seen probiotics out there 28 strand, and I'm confused by that one. However, we want to bring in the good bacteria back into the gut, because when a virus or bacteria comes in, it eliminates that good bacteria.
Especially if you take an antibiotic, right? Because that kills all of your bacteria, good and bad. So then you have to rebuild that bacteria, is that right?
You rebuild the good bacteria up, and a single strand is much better than a multi-strand.
So that's something important for everyone to know
Oh,
is be on a good, you know, keep your gut healthy and with good probiotics and
Yeah.
all of that. So how does stress impact our gut health?
We stop eating, we don't sleep,
Or we eat too much,
or
right?
we eat too much. I'm just reverse. I don't eat when I'm stressed, and so that's why I'm really eating well now. It's my CrossFit. But some people eat too much. I'm bored. I'm going to eat. I'm stressed. I'm going to eat. Right?
And then typically they'll reach for the sugary comfort foods versus the healthy foods.
Right.
So tell us a little bit about nutrition and how nutrition is connected to COVID.
Absolutely. More greens, please, more greens for you, for your health and for your safety and for your gut. The fresh fruit, beautiful fresh fruit. Some people can digest raw vegetables, some people cannot. I am one that does not. And so I'd rather have my vegetables stir-fried because they have a myelin sheath on it and it just takes like 15 to 30 seconds in a slow or walk or something
Right.
to remove that myelin sheath so you can break it down.
Oh, interesting.
Okay? If you
So how would you know if your body doesn't process raw vegetables? What would be a sign that you would feel?
overweight, gassy, I'm not digesting my food, I'm seeing undigested food in my bowel movements because we know it's important, 2 to 3 a day. I'm a
Right.
poop whisperer, so I love that. I need to know how many bowel movements that you're having every day. I love it. My grandbaby comes down and she says, well, I shouldn't call her a baby anymore, but she's 12 and she says, Oma, I had my 3rd one today. I'd be like, yes, high five.
Good,
You know?
good table talk.
Yeah, absolutely. But we also talk about what was good today. What did you see good today?
Staying positive.
Staying positive with our food and our meal and praying over our food, whether you believe in a higher being or not. It's about thanking those who cultivated the food, thanking those who prepared the food, and thank those who are eating this food for your health.
So it nourishes our
It
bodies.
nourishes our mind and our body and our soul, and we're doing that as a collective at a table.
Oh yeah, the collective mind is so much more powerful. I mean, you know, again, all over the internet are all these group meditations going on, and people going outside at 8 o'clock at night and cheering all of those first responders and nurses and doctors.
Are you howling at 8 o'clock?
I am howling at 8 o'clock. Oh!
Yeah, at 8 o'clock every night.
So grateful for all those responders. So tell us how fear, because there's a lot of fear out there, and you know, and the news and all of the information can be so overwhelming. We need to filter what we're watching, how much we're watching, and the amount of fear that can trigger. Tell me what fear does to our bodies, mentally, physically, emotionally, and spiritually.
Well, it puts us in full depression. Puts us in depression. It gets us to be anxious, and we have that anxiety that is happening. It's like, I gotta fidget, I gotta do something, I can't stay put.
And then we don't breathe either.
You don't breathe, and it's all about, I get my patients, and anyone that you've contacted will say, yes, she makes me breathe 5 minutes 3 times a day. And it's all about, if I get that oxygen in, it balances the body. The greens alkalizes the body, and disease can only live in an imbalanced body that is acidic. So bringing in the good nutrition, staying away from the sugars. I mean, you can have your one day where you say, okay, today I'm going to pamper myself and have that little piece of chocolate that I want, not the whole chocolate bar. However, it's about nourishing the body and the mind and the spirit, and using aromatherapy. I mean, when I did the PhD, my research was lowering cholesterol. And why did I want to choose lowering cholesterol? Because fear is in the liver.
Oh, interesting.
The liver metabolizes the hormones. Cortisol is made in the liver. The brain uses 80% of that cortisol. So
and that's going to impact, for us as leaders, that's going to impact how we make decisions, how we show up for our staff members, how we make it through a situation like this to be able to support others.
Absolutely. And so when I formulated the aromatherapy, the chakras, as you mentioned before, each of the chakras, there's 7 main chakras, and each of them were about, am I grounded? How do I stay grounded? How do I stay focused? Are my hormones balanced? Is the solar plexus working correctly? And the solar plexus includes the liver and the gallbladder and the stomach and the spleen and the pancreas. Spleen is part of the immune system. The spleen in traditional Chinese medicine is the mother of the lymphatic system. If we are not moving, then our lymphatic system is not moving, because it's the only system that does not have its own pump. So exercise, it's about movement.
Right.
And remember that emotions is energy in motion. Where is that energy going, and how are you creating
Oh, I
it?
love that. Emotions is energy in motion. That's great. I love that.
So you have to make sure where you're focusing is where that energy's going, right?
And so right now for leaders, we need to be focusing on staying grounded. We need to be focusing on keeping our bodies healthy, mentally, physically, emotionally, and spiritually healthy, and also finding ways to help our staff members stay grounded and healthy. And you know, so many of us right now are so concerned about our loved ones, you know, especially some of our loved ones who are at higher risk for age, for health reasons, and when some of our loved ones end up with this horrible virus and they end up in the hospital, we can't even go see them and be with them. So any tips on how to lower those, you know, anxiety around if we have personal family members who are ill with this?
Well, that's where being a collective, God made us a collective.
A tribe.
He did make us a tribe, and I am grateful for that, and very thankful that He has made that. However, we need to be able to stay connected to those people that we love. We can perhaps get a chakra spray for the heart to open up that includes with the lungs, because it's about oxygen.
And
Ask
that's
them
where
to
COVID
breathe.
attacks, right here.
Yes. It attacks the lungs. It goes from a virus to a bacteria. So we call that a viteria or a superbug, right? Starts out virus, but it goes to bacteria.
And doesn't this one morph back and forth?
This one goes back and forth. And now there's so many different strains or species of it that the first one was very, very, very deadly. And now we can see that it's changing and morphing into something. I think there's like 18 strains now of COVID. So what are you doing to keep your heart open and your heart healthy and with your loved ones? The immunity spray, spray it on the toothbrushes, right? Mucous membrane in the mouth.
Oh, and they say the mouth is the dirtiest place on the body.
Yeah, dirty hands. Spray it on the hands, spray it on the books, wipe it off. Your cell phones, your computers, spray it in their bed. Ask the nurses to do that. Then I'm finding that they're being more heartfelt in the hospitals. My daughter works in a hospital, and now she's seeing people through televideo because they don't want her in that hospital anymore, but she still has to go down for emergencies. We spray her down, and she wears her mask and comes home, and she showers right away and takes her clothes off and wash them. So the loved ones, it's about keeping them relaxed.
Right.
It's about getting them to breathe. Bring in the oxygen. We even brought in some boost oxygen to breathe. So give the body the extra oxygen. Exercise.
Exercise. So what about those who are feeling stuck or trapped in their home and you know, depression is a strong word, but you know, mood swings can come in where people start to feel sad and lonely. What would be some remedies for those of us who are struggling with that right now?
Yeah, the vitamin D is probably a very good one.
Right.
Love vitamin D.
Get out in the sun, right?
Get out in the sun. Here in Colorado, we have over 300 days of sunshine.
We are so blessed.
We are so blessed for that, although today's not one of them. The Relax Milieu is a great one. One for proactively helping with not only the mind and the gut, the glutamine, right, is a good one, but as well as taking one of the, perhaps the third eye for intuition, or the crown chakra, because of the oils in there, it helps relax you, it helps you reconnect.
Right, and that's part of the ungrounding thing, right? Is where we stop feeling connected.
Yes.
So then we become ungrounded, and it's like a downward spiral.
Yeah. Downward spiral. Usually you crash, and then I'll get people calling me and say, "Doctor's up. I don't know what to do." It's like, okay, need you to breathe. Go do your brain tap. I'll send you a link if your link is expired or you've lost it or whatever. Let me talk to you. Let's see what's happening. What is your environment? What foods are you eating? Are you adding that sugar to create that anxiety? How much coffee are you drinking?
And all of these things create spikes and then crashes.
And then crashes, because we have 80% of our neurotransmitters in our gut. If we're fueling that with
sugar,
unhealthy food,
donuts,
chocolate,
chocolate.
if we're fueling the body with that, then we're enhancing that fear. We're creating that environment that is unhealthy.
That's going to increase the anxiety.
Yeah.
So again, it's also connected. So one of the things I recently read about was, of course, you know, we talk about this COVID virus, which is a very real virus that morphs back and forth between bacteria and a viral. There's also the virus of the mind. So with all of this, you know, if we watch too much TV and we don't filter what we're watching and listening to, and all of that can contribute to a virus of the mind. What do you recommend about us staying away from some of this and maintaining a healthy mind versus creating a second virus within our own mind?
The virus of the mind is, you're creating that, right? But that fear, that false experiencing and appearing real. So if you're creating that virus in the mind, that's where meditation comes in. That's where music comes in. That's where dancing comes in. Get on the YouTube and learn how to do one of those square dancing, foot things.
And there's all kinds. It's so
There's all
wonderful.
kinds.
So our world has come together. There's people all over the world, just like we are here today, putting out these free videos and webinars for people to learn and listen to. So have at it. Go learn how to dance. I love that.
Did you see the one with Andrea Bocelli?
No.
Oh my gosh, it's absolutely beautiful. Go Google Andrea Bocelli, and he sings Ave Maria and Amazing Grace, and is dedicated to all of the people around the world. And to see him and listen to him and his
What a
vibrational
voice.
frequency, oh, it's beautiful. So music, take your remedies, exercise. My routine in the morning is I get up, I exercise, I go for my walk. Yes, walk and exercise aren't the same for me, but it could be for you.
Well,
For
that's a
me,
form of meditation.
It's a
is
form
walking.
of meditation.
Yeah. So I'm reading this book. It's called Wherever You Go, There You Are. And it's by John Kabat-Zinn, and I just love it. You can see all my little tags. But he's got lots of different ways to meditate. And so if you find what works for you, if sitting is uncomfortable and you feel as though you can't meditate, it's really about finding a way that works for you, and going for a walk, doing a walking meditation is great. Also, sitting meditation where you just sit quietly and focus on your breath. When you think about the posture that you hold for meditation, one of the things he said that just rang so true, he said, imagine yourself sitting with dignity. And when you think about sitting with dignity, your shoulders just kind of circle back and get soft, and you get into a relaxed but uplifted posture. And there really is no right way to meditate, but there's a walking meditation, a lying down meditation, and he says, get your body down on the floor at least once a day. That's another great way to ground. So, wonderful book. If you don't have it, grab it. This is a nice, really easy read. And in addition, it quiets your mind and helps us focus on breathing, which Dr. Deb has talked so much about today. So if we think about connecting our theme for today, which the monthly theme is practice, and our theme for today is being proactive versus reactive. Hopefully you found lots of ways to be proactive naturally with your body to maintain a safe and healthy immune system, so that if by chance we are exposed to this virus, the body has a better opportunity to fight it. And so I have a quote, and it's by Laura Kelly Finucci. And it's, when this is over, may we never again take for granted a handshake with a stranger, full shelves at the store, conversations with neighbors, a crowded theater, Friday night out, the taste of communion, a routine checkup, the school rush each morning, coffee with a friend, the stadium roaring, each deep breath, a boring Tuesday, life itself. When this ends, may we find that we have become more like the people we wanted to be, we were called to be, we hope to be, and may we stay that way, better for each other because of the worst. And so, Dr. Deb's website, what's your website where people can go to?
They can go to rootedinhealth.com or Dr. Zepf, DRZEPF.com, and the essential oils are on the Dr. Zepf website. And the homeopathics, if you want to call me, I'll give you a free consult for 15 minutes.
Okay.
And we can talk about that.
And your phone number is?
303-249-7742. And remember that you have to have faith during this time, and that hope floats.
I love that. Thank you so much for joining us today. May you all stay healthy mentally, physically, emotionally, and spiritually. Thanks so much for being with us today.